All right, and there we go. So basically, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your recent files at the bottom over here. And then on the right side, you'll see there's a whole bunch of templates that you can download, which are already created for you. But because we're starting from scratch, we're going to use a blank presentation. Okay, so the first thing is when you start a PowerPoint with blank, you're going to find there's absolutely no colors popping up over there. The design ideas, you'll see this little guy right on the right-hand side. He's automatically going to pop up for you. Whenever you're working with Word or Excel, PowerPoint, this little feature, especially PowerPoint, this little feature is kind of new, so it'll try to change how you're looking at your PowerPoint presentation. So for now, I'm just going to close it. It will pop up automatically from time to time, so don't be too shocked when you see it. So you can just close it for now. It's a nice little feature though. Okay, so basically when you start a new slideshow, this is what you can have. You can just have one little slide over here. And then you'll see in the design view over here, you've got two placeholders. Now, placeholders is actually where you type in the information or insert pictures or whatever it may be. But in this case, I'm just going to type in some basic information. So that's kind of like a welcoming page, if you like, or slide. Okay, so that's kind of easy. Now you can see how this works, but we're going to show you how to make this look really, really good. Then the next thing is if I want to insert a new slide, you'll see here's the option here. It's on your home ribbon. You can click on new slide and then you're going to see all the ones that they give you. All right, there's quite a few different ones and you'll see they've got different placeholders that they've already created for you to try to make this whole process a little bit easier. So for example, I'm going to go for this one over here, to content. And now you'll see they've got placeholders here and a placeholder here. Okay, so let's have a see. Now I can put in here, give it a title. Right, then you can click some text here. And then you can actually go make a list. Or whatever it may be. Okay, creating this little space, a sub list, you can just use the tab key on your keyboard. And if you want to go back, it's Shift and Tab to take you back. Give me a hard time. There we go, Shift and Tab. Okay, and then it moves it back again here. All right, so that's just basically how your list function. And of course, you can change it into a numbered list very easily as well. But as with rule number 1, please make sure you select when you are making changes. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now you've got this nice little function here. Yeah, I'm going to insert a little table. It says how many rows and columns, because you can see it actually gives you all the possibilities that you would want. And just like that, I've created a table. And of course, when you click on a table, you'll notice you get your properties that come up again. Your table design. So I can go change the colors and your layout of your table. So you've got these two little ribbons that specifically deal with this. And now you can see inserting below. So it's kind of looks almost like Excel. Okay, so there we go. You can actually go create yourself a table. Right, so this is quite cool. Let's go insert another slide. Let's say this one. Okay, and again, you've got this nice placeholder, so that's quite important. Now, for example, let's say before you want to start typing, you decide, okay, I don't really want this one. I want to change how it looks. Then you can go to the slide layout option. And what this option allows you to do is simply by clicking and selecting, there we go, it changes the basic layout. Just remember, these are the templates that they're using, so you can kind of create it however you want it to look. All right, so here, for example, I changed it. Giving it a title here. For example, I've got a dog and it's called Snow. All right, and then this is basically your placeholders that you can then change. So that's quite a nice little tool. Okay, and of course, if you've got text and you go and change it, it's going to try and line up that text to basically what you think you might want to use. And again, there we go. Just as I expected, the design view will automatically pop up. And now this time it says it can't understand what I'm trying to do. So it says sorry. So you can just close it again. Okay, so that's pretty normal. All right, let's go have a look then. So now we've had a look at slides, how to insert slides, all right, and how to change the layout of the slide. So those are two kind of important ones over there. Then we can look at the font options. Okay, so again, first rule, select your text. Now I can use the same tools that I was using Microsoft Word and Excel. I can actually go and use them. So it's again selecting your text. You'll see this little guy always pops up if you're selecting text, and you can go make the changes that you want. Okay, so underlined and bold and whatnot. So again, all the font is there. Obviously, it's a little bit different because depending on what you're selecting, the font is changing according to that selection. For example, here I haven't done anything, so therefore my text is just normal. You see? So now if I wanted to change this, I need to select it first. For example, let's go change the style of writing. For example, we use that one. Okay, so just remember, it basically works on the idea you need to select what you want to change. Okay, so that's how your font works. So pretty much similar to Word in Excel. So you must just make sure you're selecting the text. Okay, then of course you've got the nice paragraph options. We already looked at the numbered in the bullet list. For example, if I want this information to be in the middle of my placeholder, then I can just simply select the middle option, and there we go. Because I've only left my cursor there, it only affects that information. If you want all the information to move, then you need to select what you want to move, and there we go. And if I want it to the right, there as well. Okay, so there we go. So you can move around inside your placeholder like that. So that's quite useful as well. All right, and then you'll see there's another little option which we definitely use quite a lot in PowerPoint. It's called Shapes. And there if you click on it, just like Microsoft Word, again, the same thing, same tool. Then you've got all the shapes that you can actually go and add. So clicking, dragging, letting go, and there we go. And now, of course, your shapes ribbon will pop up and say these are all the properties that you can go and change. So for example, I can make it yellow. Change it to green if I want. There's all these little templates that you can work through. All right, so you can actually go and play around with them. Get the effect that you're looking for. If I want to type in some text, then of course you're going to right click on it and you'll see there's the edit text option. Okay, so you go and edit the text. Now I can say whatever I wanted to say, my special. Okay, but here's one problem. If you've got a background that's yellow and you've got white text, that's going to be difficult to read. So I select my text and then I can go to the shortcut options and I can go change it as well. Okay, so formatting is pretty easy to do. It's just a matter of knowing which object are you on. Now you'll see when I click here, it selects this option, this placeholder. When I click on the object here, it's got its own selection that you can see. All right, so that's quite important to remember with PowerPoint. Of course, you can go and play around with all the other things that you can find under shapes. There's quite a number of them. You can do your lines and whatnot. All right, so you can actually make a nice diagram if you wanted to. So it's pretty useful to do. Right, what's next? Okay, let's create a new slide. I just want to put in a nice blank slide like that. Okay, so let's go have a look at the insert menu. Okay, I've already showed you how to insert a table, but we can do it again. So just like selecting it like this, immediately you see in the slide itself, it starts generating the table. Okay, you can even import it from Microsoft Excel. So that's also quite useful. There we go. Now the very first line, as usual, will be your headings. And for example, putting in the months. Okay, and then you can put in your actual data or whatever it may be. So just like that, it's pretty straightforward. Right, just like Excel, you can put in a table over there. Although there's no formulas in this table, hey? It's just for diagrams. Also, let me just try and make all the numbers doubles. So there we've got table of data. Nice. Just remember when you click on it, you'll see the ribbons for properties will always pop up. Okay. And of course you can go change how it looks very easily. Right, let's see what else can we insert. Yes, we can also insert a picture. Okay, so let's go to my device, which is my computer. And let's go see what I can find. There's my PowerPoint folder, and there is my hand sanitizer picture. And there we go. Now you'll notice something really nice about this, because you can actually click and drag and move it all around. Okay, so if I click and I drag, you can see my object now, it's moving around. Okay, so I can put it exactly where I want it. Okay, so that's quite nice. And again, you'll see the ribbon now has popped up for picture format, which is specifically to do with this image that I've just selected. Okay, so let's go see now. Again, it's very, very similar to Microsoft Word because it's got all the same features. All right, so let's say I want to give it a nice thick border like that. Boom. And then you can go and change it. So this is actually kind of easy to do. Okay, so that's nice. All right, and then of course the nice thing is clicking and dragging allows you to move around your objects. Remember, everything that has properties that you can change, we call it an object. If I wanted to make this a bit bigger, I can simply click and drag on any of the little side buttons to make it bigger. And of course you can also change the angle. Let's confuse people. We'll say hand sanitizers is done upside down. Can you imagine that? I think people won't be very impressed. All right, there we go. So I'm just showing you that you can actually move your shapes all around and pretty much all the function is there. So PowerPoint is really about having fun because at the end of the day, you are going to be presenting to people. So don't read. That's the worst thing with PowerPoint, guys. Just make little notes and you know what you're talking about. And then you can discuss from there. Don't go and read slides because that's very, very boring. Okay, under insert, let's go again. So we had a look at pictures. Okay, there's your shapes again. There are lots of other options like 3D modules that you guys can go play around with as well. Then there's another option over here called Mr. Text Box. Right, for example, now, if you use your text box, you can click and drag, which makes its own little placeholder. So that's actually quite a nice little tool. Give it a name or type something in, and there we go, my own text box. And I can also change its shape, but the shape is actually dependent on the text itself. Okay, so if I hit enter, yes, there, now it will make a bigger space. Okay, so your text box is useful if you just want to add some text and your slide is looking quite full, but you just got a space to put it in there. Text box is a very, very easy function to actually use. So that's quite nice as well. But if you look at our slides currently, they look pretty boring, okay, because it's just white backgrounds and a few nice color in betweens. All right, so let's have a look at something over here. Of course, clicking over here, it means you can move around in your slides. Eh? It's a nice, easy way to move around. Let's go have a look at the design. Now, design is basically going to change how it looks. Now, I'm just going to show you all the different design options. There are many, many, many design options. So you can go click on any one of your heart's desire, and immediately you'll see in the background, you'll see the slide starts changing already. And it tries to coordinate all the colors. Like, for example, your table colors, it really says, okay, the theme is green. I'm going to make your table headings green as well. And as you can see, there you can see it's really changed. And of course, it changes all the slides. Eh? Ideally, when you have a presentation, it should always be matching up. It should be sort of flowing. So it shouldn't be all different colors all over the show. That would just be creating confusion. So it should flow nicely like this. So a theme is a very, very useful way of doing it. Of course, based on the theme, we can actually go change the colors, the variants. Okay, just be careful when you use dark backgrounds and light text and vice versa, because it's difficult to read, especially at a distance. All right, so that's pretty useful then as well. I'm just going to take blue because it looks nice. Okay, we just come from winter. And there you can see now it's actually gone and changed. Even this one has changed. So there we go. So it's actually made it very nice. And now you'll see the text has changed. So that is a very quick way then to actually put a presentation together just by using the design tool. All right, so now we come to the fun part of PowerPoint. Okay, transitions. Now, what does a transition actually mean? In other words, when you're moving from one slide to the next slide, that little period in between, when the slide changes, that is your transition. So when your transition changes, then you'll see the new slide appearing. And now the nice thing with PowerPoint is we can actually say, how do we want it to look? And now they've given you a whole bunch of options over here. For example, here's the morph option. Okay, yes, it's just reminding me what it is. I hope you guys saw that. If you click on it, you'll see what happens. Can you see there? It sort of disappears, then it reappears, and boom. Okay, so it goes from this slide, the second slide, and then it morphs into the third slide. Let me just show you a fade. Can you see that? So when you're clicking on these buttons, like there we go, pushing. It's clever enough to know that you want to do a transition, and the only way you can do a transition is from the slide before. Okay, so then it will obviously try to understand where you are. And then you can go see all these different slide transitions. Okay, that's pretty cool. Reveal, think. And I take a few seconds as well. Although ideally, guys, if you're doing a research paper and you're presenting, because I know we do this, please don't have slide transitions and the next thing animations, because it might put you off during it, because most people are very stressed anyway. Slide transitions are okay, it's not too bad, but the animations one, try to avoid it as much as possible, because you're going to see now why in a few seconds. So your slide transition, just to recap, is basically that change that happens in between. Okay. So you can do it like it. And of course, there are many, many different versions and options that you can go try out. It's really fun, like that one. That's really cool. And it looks really cool. Okay, so yes, so you can go try out these transitions. Very, very nice. Then we've got the animations. Now, animations are those little things that you want to apply to the objects. So you can actually go try them out. Okay. For example, let me go to my third slide. Here is an object that I put in. So generally the objects now come into play. Let's see what the first animation does. So animation means it does something for you. Okay, you'll have to watch very quickly because the thing flies in there. Okay, that one's actually quite easy to see. All right, so you can go play around with the animations. There are many, many, many different animations that you can use. Okay, so that's actually quite cool as well. You can go play on these things and see like changes colors and whatnot. So it's a lot of fun things to do. But as I said, if you're doing a presentation, a research presentation that's a little bit more serious and a little bit more stressful, try to avoid animations, okay? Because those ones can become a little bit problematic. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much how the animations work. And of course, you can go play around with the timings and whatnot, which I'm not going to show, but go and play around with these options because they're really useful if you want to have a fun presentation that you're doing. The next thing we can look at is the slideshow itself. In other words, this is how the slideshow, how do you basically start a slideshow? That's the question. And a lot of people don't know how to start the slideshow. They open their presentation and then they start speaking from here. They're not realizing, actually, a slideshow, you shouldn't see all this. It should be full screen. Okay, you've got two choices. Under slideshow, you can actually say from beginning. You can say from the current slide if you're inside a presentation already. So those are the kind of the options. Or on the right-hand sort of corner right over here, you'll see there's a little button that says start slideshow. So wherever you are, that's where it's going to start. So if I click on it, okay, now because I'm using dual screens, you might see this actually appearing, all right? So in other words, what the person's looking at is actually going to be a full screen. This little tool, guys, is for you, the presenter, all right? And if you had typed in notes, you would have actually seen the notes over here. Okay, so there we go. There you can see your presentation. So now you can actually start speaking. And you've got all these little tools that you can actually use as well. If I say next, twink. There we go, you saw the slide transition. Okay, now I can speak about whatever's in this slide. And once I'm done, I can say next again, and there we go. Okay, the animation, I think I left it off, or it happens very quickly. I didn't even see it. There we go, to the last slide of that. And that's it. Then you end the slideshow, then you're finished. Right, and then over here on the top, you'll say there's the End Slideshow button. If you click on it, then it brings you back to your design view. Especially now if you're using a dual screen, Okay, so what will happen is you'll see that tool will appear, and on your other side, you'll actually see the full presentation. Now, the good thing is you actually saw the notes over there. So this little button over here at the bottom, if you click on it, you'll see it actually creates the space for the notes. So let me say here, audience, yeah. Okay, we'll use the American word, sanitizers. Okay, there we go. So now I've put in a note over here. So let's go back again and have a look. I'm going to say from beginning. Okay, good. So this looks fantastic. I present who I am. I'm talking about this table of shopping I need to do, which is all fun. Okay, there you can just see the animation happened because I have to click. And there we go. There's the text that I'm talking about. Now just remember this, the student is only, or the audience is only going to see this information, this major information in the middle. They're not going to see everything else that you're seeing over here. So your notes right over here, you can see it, they cannot see it, but then you can at least remind yourself of what you wanted to say in the slide. So in that way, you can never forget something. And even in case you forget where you are, you can always see your notes over here, just to help you get through the presentation itself. So please try and remember this when you're going to do a presentation, especially if you're doing research articles and whatnot. This can definitely be something useful for you, okay? Because then you're going to sound so professional because you're not going to miss anything. So that's pretty cool as well. Okay, so that's pretty fun as well. Okay, so let's see what's next. This is a really, really fun option, the recording slide option. So what I'm going to do is, yes, you can actually record yourself. So you're going to click on this button, all right, and it's going to open this interface for you. All right, there are some little tools and things that you can actually use. You can switch off your microphone must be on. Okay, you'll see over here. If you don't have it on, then you are not going to be able to hear your presentation. It won't record your speech, what you're saying, okay, your voice. You can switch on the camera if you really, really wanted to. And then you'll see it's over here in the bottom corner. So there you can see me. All right, cool. But I'm going to switch it off because that eats a lot of data. Okay, so you can put your camera on over there. It's fine. And you can play around with this. So how this works is, okay, you're going to use these little guys to move around your presentation. So obviously you want to be in the beginning. And what will happen is you're going to click on the record button over here. It's going to count down for you. 3, 2, 1. And from this very second, it starts recording now. So whatever I'm saying, it's actually recording. And then as you talk, and you say next, and you carry on with your presentation, just like you would do. Unfortunately, you can't see the notes here. So this one, you might need to talk from the hip. Okay, there you can see the animation happening. All right, and there we go. Okay, and then I get to the end of my presentation. Brilliant, and then it automatically will stop. Okay. And there we go. So now I've actually recorded. So if I go here, and it'll actually show to me now a clearing option. So in other words, if you made lots of mistakes or you weren't happy with the recording, you can then go and clear it for one slide or all the slides. Totally up to you. All right, which is also useful to do. Okay, so that's also quite nice. So you can actually record this thing. Once you've made a recording, here's the really fun part. Now I can go and say File, Save As. I deliberately didn't show you saving because I want to show you this. Like for example, my webinars folder. Okay, so there you've got PowerPoint, fine, normal, PowerPoint PPTX. There's the older version, PPT, and I'm sure, where is Mr. PDF? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. There's PDF, so you can save this as a PDF as well. But that's not what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. I can actually save this presentation that I just recorded as an MP4 video. Okay, so I can click on it. Now it says to me, okay, I'm going to make a video for you. Got to give it a file name. Let me call it my assignment, for example. And then it's going to click. Just make sure you know where you're saving your video. Okay? All right, now it might take a few minutes to do this, but at the bottom over here, at the bottom of the screen, you actually can see it's busy converting this whole presentation, including your recording, and it's actually converting it into an MP4. So just like that, you can make your own videos. I do see a lot of students or people in general doing this type of thing on social media, where they actually record and they make things, and YouTube, you name it. So it is something social that people actually enjoy doing. So please give it a shot. It's really, really fun. I'm just going to let it finish converting. It shouldn't take too long. We didn't put too much stuff inside of it. But there we go. Just give it a few seconds. It's almost done. I'm sure you guys are quite enjoying this. Okay, and there we go. Brilliant. All right, I'm just going to minimize quickly. Okay, I'll close that one as well. I'm just going to go to my shared folder so I can show you guys. So I saved it under webinars. Now I've just got to find it. Oh, there it is. My assignment. There's my MP4. It's about 3.5 megabytes. So it's quite a small one. It's not too big. From this very simple. You guys can hear the sound, but definitely there's the sound video and there's the video. So it's pretty cool. Of course, you did notice that the slide transition does cause a little bit of a delay in between, hey? Sort of breaks the sound up. But there we go. So simple, easy to do. You can actually insert your creative video just like that. You can also insert under video. You can actually go insert videos and audio as well. If you've got an audio clip, an MP3 that you may be copying from your cell phone, you can actually go and insert that as well. You can even go record your audio. Okay, pretty much in the same way I was just showing you now. But of course, I don't have any music here, do I? No, I don't have any music whatsoever. So you just go select your file and insert. But go play around with those settings. They're actually quite simple to follow. And that's pretty much it, guys. But what I want to show you before we finish is this brilliant website called gfclearnfree.org. Just want to give it a time to open. So if you want to go learn more about Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all the products, plus many, many other things, this is a very good OER website. gfclearnfree.org. So it's really picking it up over there. Whoops, as usual, I always swap the C and the F around. Okay, there it is. This is the website, and you can see there's Excel and PowerPoint. It's really highlighting to you what's available. So you can go check it out. It's a very free, it's free 100%. It's very, very good. It's very detailed. They give you videos how to do things. It is brilliant. You cannot go wrong with this website. And it's not just about IT things. All right, there's also skills, core skills, maths and grammar, work and career. So you can see there's a lot of things you can work through. As long as you've got internet connection, you can actually go and do these things. It's very, very nice to do. And of course, there's PowerPoint that we tackled this morning already. Right, and there you can see it. And it's in detail as well, guys. So you can, as I said, they give you exercises, they show you the video what to do. It's brilliant. It's really, really good. So try to give it a try, and you'll learn a lot from this website.